What's going on, guys? Just want to do a video here wrapping up this Ariens 832 project snowblower. This is a model number 910010, year 1973. I just did a Predator 212 swap on it. The original Tecumseh 8 horsepower, the HS80 motor, needed a bunch of work. Really didn't feel like doing it. This is the second Predator swap I've done this year. I did one for a buddy. He said the machine worked amazing on the first snowstorm that we got. So I figured I'd do one. This is going to be one that I'm going to use for myself. But anyways, this swap came out awesome. Very straightforward, very easy to do. Not a whole lot of modifications needed to make it work. One of my major concerns was whether or not this chute linkage was going to clear the engine. And the good news was it cleared perfectly. I did have to do one thing. There's a little plate that covers the bottom side of the engine here. I did remove that. And I also had to kind of dent this engine cover right here to make the shaft fit through. But other than that, it fits perfect, works perfect. I know some other models, they've had to relocate this shaft down using a bracket off of this bolt here. But in this case, that didn't have to happen. Was super pumped about that. As far as the mounting of the engine goes, so if you can see right there, that is that, and underneath the motor here was the two original mounting holes from the factory. This had two more that were drilled more forward, so I was able to utilize those, and everything lined up perfect from there. So I did have to do is pound the original mounting studs out. Those are tack welded in, they came out super easy just with one hammer blow. And then I used some 3/8 bolts, came in from the underside here. You can kind of see, you can see the original mounting hole there, and then the two bolts that I put through. Kind of had to use some midget fingers here to get it to work, but it took a little bit, but it went. Wasn't nothing too major. And then the only other thing to mention is the shaft collar adapter. So these come with a 3/4 inch shaft from the factory. The original Tecumseh was a 1 inch, so I had to do a 3/4 to 1 shaft adapter. It was a little bit long, so I did have to trim it up. But other than that, that was pretty straightforward. And the other thing that I did was utilize the factory throttle control here. As you can see, it's got a mount right there for a throttle cable. So you can sit there and cycle the throttle. And yeah. I mean, pretty pumped to try this thing out. I think it's going to work really good. I mean, again, for $99, you really can't go wrong. And you can, from what I've heard, you can run the piss out of these fucking engines, and they love it. The only other thing I really got in store for this thing is I am going to try to get a different chute for it, get one off a later model machine. I've heard that just the better profile works a lot better. These just kind of like bleh, the snow, where the other ones, they kind of give it a little bit better of an aim, I guess you could say. And then on another machine, I've done the impeller mod, so I'll be doing that to this as well. There is a, as you can see, that blade right there has got a little bit of a dent in it, so be cleaning up the clearance using those rubber paddles, and this thing should be a ripper. Give a quick startup. I mean, it doesn't take much. toddler could start these things. So there you have it, guys. If you're thinking about doing a Predator swap on a Ariens model similar to mine, or even any other Ariens, I mean, actually, I just picked up this bad boy. This has got a blown connecting rod, and I mean, hey, what better motor to use? So I'll probably be going to Harbor Freight here shortly to get another one for this. That'll make 3 in 1 year. Anyways. Hope you enjoy. If you got any questions, please post below.